Ladies and gentlemen, this video is definitely an Asteroid Fight Club next level situation. So if you don't think you can handle bad information, please skip this one. All right, with that in mind, about 2 hours ago, it was announced that New York was having a corpse issue where they're going to have too many bodies for their normal capacity in normal situations. And so they were going to have to start burying bodies in a park. Soon we'll start temporary internment. This likely will be done by using a New York City park for burials. Yes, you read that right. Trenches will be dug for 10 caskets in a line. And it will be done in a dignified, orderly, and temporary manner. But it will be tough for New Yorkers to take. And Wall Street has the markets just keep going higher today, this morning, even 2 hours after that news. It opened up at about 600, 700 this morning, and then just keeps on going up and up. And if you've been following me on Twitter for the last 36 hours, I have been noting how the atmosphere has a strange pump and dump variety to it, where even throughout the pandemic, there's a lot of day trading going on where they will release what sounds like good information. Markets will go higher, and then the real information will come out, and markets will go lower. And so they run the stock markets up, and then they take profits, which is really weird during a pandemic. And so before the news about the corpse storage came out, I had noted that yesterday we had 25,000 cases reported of new coronavirus infections in the United States. So far today, it's 12 Eastern time, 11 Texas time. There have only been 2,900 new cases reported. And so we're now 2 hours past the normal time when New York's numbers and data are updated. And so for some reason, there's been a large delay. This is the first day in like 2-3 weeks where New York hasn't reported numbers at pretty much the usual time, which I think is around 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Eastern time. And so, the markets are going up on what information? Like we've seen, I know that the data over Friday, Saturday, and Sunday has looked steady, but there's always a weird thing where there's less coverage on the weekend that I've noted. So, like I said, there's a false optimism kind of being floated. Although I could be wrong and all the cases could go down, but having New York report it's going to have to start storing bodies one by one in rows in a park in New York is not good news. But in good news, Texas Governor Greg Abbott just announced today all frontline workers during COVID pandemic will receive free childcare. That's for nurses, doctors, first responders, and all healthcare providers for their tireless work to respond to the coronavirus. Hopefully we can figure out a way to extend that to grocery store workers. That would also be helpful. But even if the numbers stay flatlining or plateauing now, with 500 New York deaths a day over, the next 30 days, that's a lot of bodies. There's like 321 square miles in New York, so that's 1.5 body per square mile a day. Larry Kudlow was on the TV earlier talking about how we need to sell virus war bonds. And there's just a weird relationship between Wall Street and New York, where like New York is the streets, the people who live there, and then Wall Street is kind of the multinational group that is digitally based in New York. And it definitely seems like, in my opinion, that over the last month, the majority of all the focus has been on Wall Street. And New York is getting hit pretty hard, and all my bells are ringing that it just feels like a pandemic pump and dump where they're making it look like there's good news. And I could be wrong. There, maybe the curve has finally stopped and flattened, but we aren't seeing major indications of that in the data. And so it just seems like the last decade of doing what they can to make money off the stock market is that mentality still in place. And I fear it's going to cost a lot of lives. So, but I'm doing my best to keep you updated and be honest. And so it is now 11:05. And New York is still not reported. And so, like I said, yesterday we had 25,000 new cases, and it's over noon. And we have not had a lot of states reporting it. And I'm just very curious why that would be. I'll keep you guys posted, and just expect a lot of craziness for at least another week before things hopefully start to settle down. But I definitely think this is a strange head fake. I could be wrong, and if I am, I'll come and apologize. But like I said, I got a feeling when the numbers are reported today, it will show that we have not plateaued. But either way, I think we should look at the data over the next 3 days before making any major decisions. And the Army and the Department of Defense said this would probably peak in the second or third week, at least for New York, especially in April. And so it would be weird if it peaked now. Although, I mean, let's hope that happens. I'm just saying that's not my Jedi feeling. My Jedi feeling is that people who love money and profit above all else are still playing weird games with people's lives. All right. God bless everyone. Stay cool. Talk to y'all in the near future.